My name is Richard Filk. I live in Hamilton. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm involved with some community building projects in Hamilton as well. And yeah, that's me. So I started struggling with substance use, drug addiction in 2010. I found it very, very challenging to let go of the fear of what people would think if I shared this with them. At the time, I was living in Guelph. I was completing a university degree there. I was working, I had friendships, I had a lot of things going on, and on the surface, it was very important to me to look like things were well put together. And I did a pretty good job at that until it got very, very hard. And a lot of people just disappeared. As soon as I would share that, within a little while, I'd stop hearing from them, and it was very hurtful. And it was very hard to continue to reach out, but that's what I absolutely had to do to start getting better.
My name is Beata, and I am Richard's mother. When I first heard from Richard on Family Day, when he was almost 22, about his addiction to drugs, that was a complete shock. I believe that my children were spoken to openly about what world we live in. They have not lacked the knowledge of what drugs are and what are the dangers.
I think we're starting to show that it's not a certain demographic that is afflicted with drug addiction. Those people that you look at, it's the homelessness and the mental health that's readily apparent that people think of first, but these are otherwise very average, otherwise healthy, normal-looking people, right, such as myself.
And I remember feeling so protective because I worried about how medical staff will treat him. And I felt like I need to be there so they don't dare to mistreat him.
I understand that within the city of Hamilton there's a lot of substance abuse. There's a lot of mental health and drug addiction problems that a lot of people are really suffering with. And for me, I'm really grateful and really fortunate that quite quickly I found communities of people that were either in recovery or supportive of people in recovery that could see past the substance abuse, which was just a part of who I was. It wasn't the totality of who Richard is or who Richard was.
He was home and I watched him suffer, and it's impossible to comprehend how much he suffered. Every time he came back, he was more sick. And it was harder and harder to see Richard within the shell of Richard's body. And that is what drug addiction is. It was like his personality was just disintegrating.
Entertain the possibility that there is healing available to everyone, because I've seen absolutely miraculous transformations. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, people come back to life. Like from dying, from being like in the process of killing oneself to returning to a full and happy and healthy life. Had I not been pushed by a fork in the road, the one was to continue to use and relapse and overdose and quite likely die. So the alternative was a path of altruistic kind of connection and community building. And what I've gained was a life and an existence that is incredible.
There were so many nights when I slept in the room next to his room thinking that he might be already dead. We had naloxone kit, it was used in this house, we revived him, went to emergency room, came back. I don't want to be misleading. This experience has been incredibly hard on our family. It's been hard on each of us separately. It was hard to be together, but we are. I feel happier than ever.
And to start to heal together, I think in community. That's the fastest way that I summarize the incredible state of isolation that is drug addiction, is that the antidote to that is connection.
I know for sure that Richard did not choose to get sick. I understood at some point that I don't get to have a healthy son. Just like lots of parents don't get to have healthy children. My son has addiction issues, other parents have children with other mental health problems, or with cancer, or with diabetes. There are some people out there who are chronically ill, and and families live with it and cope with it. And what is the only thing that is helpful for everybody is when we're kind to each other. I am so proud of my son.